Okay, so this is part 4 of the what is a limit lesson that we're going through here, and we're starting with example number 5. So Karen drew the following piecewise function, y equals f at x, use her drawing to evaluate each limit if it exists. So she's got this drawing here, probably was a question in her textbook where she had to draw this piecewise function. She's done it. Now she's asked to evaluate some limits here. And the first one is a limit as x approaches 0 from the left. So again, we would want to be approaching 0 right here from the left. So when we approach, as x is approaching 0, I was approaching along the x-axis. What's our curve doing from the left? So we would be on this branch of the curve. As x is approaching 0, our curve is approaching this value here, which Karen has labeled as 3 on her graph. Then we want to know the limit as x approaches 0 from the right of this function. So I'm showing x approaching 0 from the right here. My curve, I'd still be on the same branch because my corresponding y values would be up here, and I would still be approaching that value 3 that Karen has sketched into her graph there. And then it asks me for the limit as x approaches 0, just plain 0, not from the left, not from the right of f at x. So that goes back to my big idea. Are the limit from the left and the limit from the right equal? Yes, they are. So that means the limit exists and is 3 in this case. So the limit as x approaches 0 of that function would be 3. Question D, the limit as x approaches 1 from the left of this function. So positive 1 from the left. So it's going to be hard for me to draw that in here, but we're approaching 1 from the left. So we'd still be on this branch of the function, but we'd be approaching this value up here. As x was closing in on 1, our function's closing in on 4, Karen's function. The limit as x approaches 1 from the right. So as we approach 1 from the right, we would be on this portion of the curve, and the curve would be approaching this hole here at -1. So the limit as x approaches 1 from the right is -1. And the limit as x approaches 1 of this function, well, since the limit from the left of 1 is 4 and the limit from the right of 1 is -1 and they're not the same, we can say the limit as x approaches 1 in general does not exist. And that is the end of part 4.